Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about how good your eyes need to be in order for you to be a good shooter. Or rather, let's do it in reverse. How good don't your eyes have to be in order for you guys to be good shooters? Okay. Now, I'm 47 years old and my eyes are not what they used to. Okay. When I look at the red dot, right, at 110 yards, which I was shooting before, most of you young guys are going to see a single point, okay? I kind of see two dots side by side like that, all right? So instead of seeing one dot, I kind of see two dots like that, okay? And that's not the red dot, that's me. And the reason I know is because if I look through here, right, and I see the red dot in that position, if I rotate the rifle, okay, if there was a problem with the red dot, the two red dots would kind of rotate, and they don't. They stay fixed. So that's how I know it's my eyes. Now, that given, okay, what I got here is a $500 Radical AR, an $80 Attaboy red dot, cheap, $6 Wolf ammo, and I just shot this group at 110 yards. I got a 3-inch group. Now, at 110 yards, right, using the red dot scope, which has no amplification, basically what I'm doing is I'm aiming at the center of the blurry white spot, okay, because this paper out there is not going to appear very clear to me, even with my glasses on, okay? So I'm putting the slightly blurry red dot on the slightly blurry white paper, okay, and I can still get a nice tight 3-inch grouping without any magnification. Okay, now the gun was rested. Okay, it was benched, basically it's bagged front and back. So I'm using really good shooting techniques. Okay, I'm holding my breath between my shots. Okay, I'm using a very consistent trigger pull, and I'm very conscious not to pull the trigger left or right. And what I want to see in my shots is after I pull the trigger, that red dot, right? So let's say this is my target here. Okay, red dot's kind of in the center of the paper. When the gun goes bang, okay, obviously the red dot's going to move a little bit because the rifle's going to recoil. It's going to go bang, and I want it to fall right back in the center of the blurry white paper. I don't want it to go bang and fall to the side, or bang and fall to this side. It sometimes will, because nobody's perfect, but that's what I'm aiming for. Okay, when I squeeze that trigger, because remember the 223 round in an AR has very little recoil, so basically you should be able, you shouldn't see the red dot come completely, off the target. You should just see it go bang, and then it should fall right back on it. If your red dot comes bang and then it ends up left or ends up right, basically you need to practice a little bit more on squeezing that trigger so you're not pulling left or right, and that's kind of like a little tell that I have for myself. Now sometimes even if the red dot falls to the left or to the right, I can still get a tight grouping, because basically the bullet has kind of already left the barrel, but that's telling me a little bit something about how I'm squeezing the trigger. So that's the feedback that I'm looking for when I fire. Okay? And the same applies to shooting a pistol, okay? And even more, because with the pistol, okay, basically, especially if I'm shooting at distance, the target is always going to appear a little blurry in the back. Now, here's the thing. Even if you have 20/20 vision, okay, your eyes can only focus on one thing at a time. So you got your rear sight, you got your front sight like this, right? Right. So your eyes can either focus on the rear sight, the front sight, or the target. And what you want to be focusing on is on your front sight. Okay. So the rear sight is going to appear a little bit blurry, and the target is also going to appear a little bit blurry. So the point here is that the target appearing a little bit blurry is normal. It's natural. So if your eyes have advanced a little bit in the years, and you're seeing things a little bit blurry, it doesn't mean that you can't be a great shot if all your other fundamentals are good, and you get comfortable with the idea that the target's always going to be blurry, because it's going to be blurry anyway, because you can only focus on one thing at a time. Now, the nice thing about the red dot is you know, if you have good eyes, you know, you can kind of focus on the target out there, and the red dot kind of appears on it. But if that's not the case, that's fine too, right? Because, you know, our pistol shooting, the target's blurry anyway. So if you're using a red dot at distance and your target's appearing a little bit blurry, that's no big deal. You know, just you'll shoot that the same way you shoot a pistol. You know, when you're shooting with a pistol with the iron sights. So there's a few things for you guys to think about. You know, as you're getting older, and as you're seeing that, you know, your vision, you know, even with prescription glasses, because, you know, you can get a brand new prescription, go to the doctor, get a brand new prescription, and it's very rarely perfect, you know, because a lot of times your eyes fall kind of in between two different, you know, prescriptions, and you know, a lot of times it's really hard for them to just get it perfect, and a lot of times even if they give you a perfect prescription, within a few months, as your eyes get used to it, they kind of fall off a little bit. And, you know, and also one of the things that you'll notice is that your vision is not consistent throughout the whole day. You know, like at night, for example, you know, I will notice that, you know, like in the daytime, I can see signs pretty clearly at a distance with my glasses. At night, that distance shortens. Okay, so if I'm driving at night, just because there's less light coming into my eyes, you know, I can't read the signs quite as far as I can in the daytime. So your eyesight is not going to be consistent throughout the whole day. You know, through different levels of light. Okay, so the point is that you know, these things should not discourage us. These things are part of life. That's part of shooting, and basically we have to just work within our limitations, and just be the best that we can be within our limitations. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.